like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open your shell so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far. And I just can't get enough of your energy. I just can't get enough. You're the spark shining in the dark. Oh, 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 love.
Welcome to It Is What It Is with Cindy Saville. The one, the only, that's me. My hope with this show every week is to share and inspire and educate. And we're going to do this in a very real and raw manner because that's me. I'm real, I'm raw, I'm edgy, and I'm a mush. So you might laugh with us. Well, you're going to laugh with us. You might cry with us, and that's okay. But it's going to be very real. And bottom line, I want you all to feel. Now, get a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, put your legs up, and just relax and just have fun. Join us for the hour. Now, another thing we're going to do every week is something called mitzvah time. What's a mitzvah, you ask? A mitzvah. M-I-T-Z-V-A-H, mitzvah. A mitzvah is a good deed, and we're going to do lots of good deeds. I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to do lots of mitzvot, many mitzvahs. Now, a mitzvah, it's karma. Let's bank, fill up the karma bank. But a mitzvah. So I'm going to tell you about a recent mitzvah that I just did, and this will give you an idea. And I'm going to share one that I've done every week with you because I am challenging myself to do one every single day. Now, I was in a medical building, and I was in the cafe of the medical building, and in walked a gentleman with his dog. And I didn't realize that he was struggling a little because the dog took a detour and almost knocked me over, in fact. And the gentleman was facing a corner, and he said, "Am I in a restaurant?" And I said, "Yes, actually, you are in a restaurant." He said, "Oh, well, I'm not supposed to be in a restaurant. I was supposed to go to the doctor's." And I said, "Oh, well, let me help you." And he says, "Are you sure you're eating?" And I said, "No, that's okay. I'm still waiting for my food." So I said, "Come." I said, "But let me ask you something. Can you see?" And he said, he had sunglasses. And he said, "No, I can't see." I said, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So I had him put his arm on mine, and I escorted him to the doctor's office. And on the way, we chatted and laughed. And his dog's name is Grant. His name is Tom. And, just it felt so good to do something nice for someone else. When I got back to the cafe, everybody in there was clapping. And if I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. So share with us. I would like to know some of the special mitzvahs that you do, mitzvot. And again, mitzvah time. So remember, do something good every day. Now, I would like to announce our giveaway. Every week, I'm going to raffle something off. And the way to win this week, we're going to raffle off a book. It is what it is. It's my book that I wrote, one of my few books that I wrote. It is my journey with breast cancer. Again, very raw, very real. And I guess you can kind of tell I got the name of the show from the name of my book, but we kept it a little cleaner. It is what it is for the show. And all you have to do is like, share, comment, and you will be entered into the raffle to win. I will be drawing every Sunday. I'll be drawing the prize. And it'll be different every week. So make sure, like, share, comment, and you will be entered into our raffle to win. Now, I would like to announce or introduce our guest, our first guest, and I'm excited to welcome a beautiful, talented woman. She's a photographer, she's a model, she's an actress, she is a videographer, she is a brand strategist. It's a big word for me, a brand strategist, and she has done such amazing things through her photography and everything she does. She's photographed famous people like Chaz from the Bronx Tale, Demi Moore, and me. I'm pretty famous because, of course, I'm the host of It Is What It Is. And you're watching me, and I appreciate it. She sees beauty in everybody behind the lens, and she's able to capture that beauty on film. In fact, she took these pictures, all of the pictures you'll see in the book. She did my logo as well. So I'm thrilled to announce Kristen Jensen. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much for having me on your show. This is so exciting.
I'm
very exciting. Your
I'm
book,
thrilled.
Everything, your set. I mean, thank you. I'm honored.
Well, thank you, and I'm honored that you are my first guest on my show.
Uh-oh. Does that mean I'm a guinea pig?
You are.
Okay. All right. I'll be a guinea pig.
You are.
It's okay.
You are.
It's cool.
So I would love to ask you, Kristen, actually, I'd love for you to share how we met.
Oh my gosh. Well, we met on a very hot, it was a warm day at my studio in Connecticut. I'm a photographer and producer and image person, strategist, and I was doing photography for a show that I created, a black and white art show called Drink Pink. And a mutual friend of ours introduced us, and you came to me because you just found out you had breast cancer.
Yes.
And you were devastated, as anybody would be, and I was, and you wanted pictures of yourself as you were
Yes.
at that point, before you had any surgery or anything like that. And I was, again, honored to do it. We had I just remember it was a beautiful day, and we opened up the barn doors of the studio, and it was just gorgeous pictures. And then you know the rest of the story. Not everybody else does.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get to that. But anyway, that's how we met. We met from me taking your pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
And that was probably one of the best gifts somebody has ever given me. And she gave it to me twice. You gave it to me twice.
I
so
did.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your history, how you got involved with modeling and acting.
Oh gosh, I know. Well, I grew up painfully shy. I was absolutely petrified.
I would never guess.
Oh no, petrified of the camera, petrified of public speaking, petrified of being in front of people. But my mother really encouraged me to enter a beauty contest, and I did that, and I didn't win because I was shaking like a leaf and I couldn't complete a sentence. But I did meet one of the judges after the contest who was a fashion photographer, and he said, "Please let me photograph you. I think you'd make a great model." I'm like, "Really? You're kidding?" Okay. So I went and did it, and I was surprised by the pictures. And what happened was I grew up in Northern California, and this was in the city. Our big city was San Francisco.
Okay.
Like here it's New York.
Yes.
There it was San Francisco.
Yeah.
And so I went to San Francisco, and I secured an agency, a modeling agency, and within months I was scouted by an agent out of Paris. And that agent flew me to Paris to go do the collections for only like a 3-4 week gig, right?
Right.
And the thing is, I never really came home. I never came
Wow.
home. I modeled for almost 25 years straight.
It's a long career.
Very
modeling.
long career. I did study acting, and there's a lot of acting and other things I did in between, but I studied acting and did some films and was on a soap opera and did a lot of different things. But the modeling career was really fun, and probably the most fun was traveling. Because I went to over 30 countries.
How incredible is that? What an experience.
Yeah. It's
the memories that you must have.
Unbelievable.
And the pocketbooks and the shoes you must.
Yes. But you don't you don't get to keep the clothes.
Oh, you don't?
No. Everybody thinks you keep the clothes, and you don't.
Oh, but I'm sure you got to do some good shopping.
You do get to do some good shopping.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what would you say you preferred, acting or modeling? And if you could share with us some of the roles that you had and some of the shows you were in.
I think I started studying acting because modeling, you can't talk.
Right.
You know, I mean, it is just your look.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring more to the party.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to speak and add more to my, you know, even though actors are hired a lot based on their looks, but it's based on talent. So I studied acting and really enjoyed that. And it's probably more to it just because it's like apples and oranges. I mean, acting there's so much more involved being an actress. I mean, it's layers and layers, literally, of learning a character and portraying that, where a model is just really a look.
Right.
So I probably found the acting more challenging than the modeling. The modeling, again, for me, it was the travel. It was the travel and the lifestyle.
Oh, what a lifestyle. How beautiful.
That was cool. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, what are some of the shows you've been on?
I was on All My Children.
Wow. And who were you on All My Children?
I was Laurel Banning.
Oh, wow.
I was a bad girl, which was really fun. I also starred in a feature film that's called Sounds of Silence, which has turned into this like B-movie, culty kind of film that was shot in Sweden, of all places. So I was there for 2 months shooting that movie.
Wow.
I was on a lot of shows. I'm dating myself probably, but a lot of shows from the 80s and early 90s in television, a lot of guest star appearances and things like that, and tons of commercials, lots and lots of television commercials.
Nice.
So,
now, what did you do? You had a family. How did you juggle work and family life?
well, I had one child.
Okay.
And it was towards the end of my modeling career. A model's like an athlete. You have a good run. Usually it's over with in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I really milked mine. But it was towards the end of my modeling career, and I didn't have children, and I got married, and it was the wrong person, unfortunately. But I had this child.
Yeah.
And I was a single mom, and I couldn't work. I mean, I did one maternity ad modeling job when I was pregnant, and I was huge, and I ate everything I wanted. I ate literally every single thing.
You must have been just belly.
Only
belly.
No, it went I couldn't even fit into shoes.
Oh, wow.
I had a good time. I had a good time with food.
You're allowed to.
I was allowed to. But I was a single mom, and I realized, I mean, coming home from the hospital with a nanny there that I hired, but I was by myself raising this child. So I had to figure out what to do.
Right.
I had to literally figure it out. And I reinvented myself, and I had dabbled with video and photography for many years, and I actually produced a video called The Art of Modeling that won awards and did stuff.
Wow.
So I actually, before all this, I had a taste behind the scenes. I had a taste of what it's like to edit and be in a room and stay up all night and be so excited just to get a job done. I mean, I always think in life you have to find something that you're going to love so much. It gets you up in the morning,
Absolutely.
that you're passionate about. And that's how I felt about production and producing things. So I started my photography business and production company in 2003. So next year will be 20 years that I've been doing it.
Wow.
So I modeled a little bit to support that business, so I kept it going. And then once the production side of things took off, I didn't have to model, and also they probably didn't want me to model. It was good timing. It was a good timing thing. But it was hard. It was hard, not hard. I hate saying hard.
Right.
It was challenging.
Right.
Being a single mother and not having family around and being totally solo. And raising this child without the father really in the picture either. So it was a lot. And, I had childcare and a good support system. I had a great support system from my church. Just very loving people that helped me along the way.
Now, when did you come to Connecticut from California?
Well, I moved
Or
to
from Sweden or from Paris?
no, from Paris, right. So I actually moved, permanently I moved to New York City in 1990.
Okay.
And I lived there in the city I based out of there for 10 years, but I wasn't there a lot. I traveled.
Right.
But it was easier than going from Europe to Los Angeles or San Francisco to
Right.
just Europe to New York.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
that was really the move. And then I moved up I love antique houses, and I bought my first antique house in Ridgefield, Connecticut in the early 90s. And now I'm in my third antique house in Connecticut. I must be crazy. I'm a giant, and 5'10", and with heels on, I'm like 6'2", and I love these little old houses, but go figure.
There's a lot of charm, and I know you use it as your studio.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. We built the house was built in 1791, and the studio is built in 1801, and we took a third of it and converted it to a video photo studio.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it is beautiful.
I know that you photographed me in it,
Yes.
and when in the beginning, when you were starting to renovate it, and then after the renovations.
Right.
Yeah. So I saw it through. I saw
Through
it
the process.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you were in there when it was.
Yes.
Well,
Right in the
actually, the
beginning.
first time we met, that
Yes.
first shoot,
2015.
it was really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And you're right. Beautiful, bright,
Yeah.
sunny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've done a lot in there.
Yes, I have. For sure.
So, what inspired you to get into the photography? What was it about photography you were on one side of the camera, and now you're kind of on both, but you're on the other.
Yeah.
And what I think is wonderful is that you know what it's like on the other side of the camera, and it's not easy on the other side of the camera. And you are able to, again, bring out things from people, looks, and because you've been there. So what inspired you to go from one side of the camera to the other?
I had amazing mentors. I worked with some of the top fashion photographers that have ever been around.
Right.
Really. I was very, very lucky. And, I started modeling when I was 17. I grew up with light meters in my face and being on sets and hearing f-stops and people,
Wow.
speaking the jargon
Yep.
of production and what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And even though I thought at one point, this is too technical for me,
Right,
I don't
right.
know.
Right.
But it's like we're a sponge, life closes a door and another one opens. We were talking about that
Always.
earlier.
Yes.
And it all just kind of sunk in, this thick blonde head of what to do. And I think what's helped me in my business is, once I made the decision to do that full time, which I think is what the question was,
Yeah.
was really, my modeling career has come to an end. I want to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little guy who's going to start kindergarten, and he's going to get off the bus every day, and I want to be home for him. What can I do? I need my own business. I really can't go to the city and do that. I need to work
Right.
from home. It's the only way I could, and it was
Right.
just a natural fit. But I did work with a life coach, like a career coach. So I
Okay.
worked with a career coach, which really helped me. And I strongly recommend it to anybody who's like in flux with their life.
Right.
They're not sure, they want to make a change. Is find someone who's an expert at really coaching, and it's really you figuring it out,
Right.
but it's someone helping you. So I did that, and I remember she told me, and my son was 4 months old, I put him down for a nap. She said, I want you to do, this is very basic, this is like 101 career coaching. I want you to make a list.
Good advice here, everybody.
Yeah, I want
Listen up, listen up.
I want to make just one thing. I want you to make a list of every reason that a production company or photography, like this was the direction for you to go. And then I want you to put it on the other side, every reason you shouldn't do it. Just a pros and cons.
Right.
A
Yep.
simple pros
Yep.
and cons. And I did that, and I was absolutely blown away by how many things.
The pros.
The pros were here and the cons were
Well,
kind
that
of silly.
tells you right there.
Yeah, and it
tells
is
you.
so basic.
Yes.
We always hear that.
Yes.
We grew up.
My
maybe-
father always said,
Did-
put the pros and the cons, list them all.
Yeah.
And if the pros outweigh the cons, you're in a good in a
That's
good position.
That's
Do it.
You thought
Yes.
it through. So that's what I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. There's a lot more to talk about. We will be right back after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Take a sip of that wine. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville, and today our guest, Kristen Jensen. So I'm going to ask you some more questions, Kristen. I hope you don't mind.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to when we first met. Yeah. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2015, May 15th, 2015. I remember our mutual friend had recommended, I was looking for a photographer, and our mutual friend said, I have the best photographer for you. I met you, you put me at ease. I was not in a good place. I felt ugly. I had cancer. Cancer is ugly. And I remember meeting you, and you were just drop dead gorgeous. And I thought, oh my God, I feel so, and it wasn't for any other reason, but I was in a bad place. And I remember when I first looked at the pictures that you took, and you took those pictures for free. You gave me those pictures for free. Your time was free, and all the photos that you took, and there were a lot of photos for free, and I can't thank you enough for that. And I look back at those pictures now, many years later, and I said, wow, like I think to myself, I look beautiful. How did she pull that out of me? Because I wasn't feeling beautiful. I want to thank you for that. But that was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, what I wanted to do was preserve, as you mentioned before, memorialize my breasts in some way. My two favorite features on my body, my breasts and my hair. And I was faced with losing both. Yeah. And you were able to preserve. Thank God I didn't need to lose my hair, but I did lose my breasts, and you were able to preserve those. What I had wanted to do was a before and an after the cancer, and you gave me both. And why? Why did you do this? You didn't do this just for me. You did this for many other people, many other women.
I'm going to cry.
I'm sorry. The one thing I didn't bring are tissues.
I didn't bring my tissue box. Yeah. I have just, I met a young woman. I was doing an event for Susan G. Komen Foundation in Westport, Connecticut, and I was photographing the event, and we had several meetings before the event, and when I was walking to the parking lot, I knew that she was a breast cancer survivor, but I didn't know how old she was. Not that I was curious, but for some reason I asked her, which is very unusual, because women hate being asked that, no matter what age you are, right? No, don't. That's a no-no.
Exactly.
But I asked her, and she said, I'm 24. And I got in the car, and I just bawled. And I could cry right. I mean, really, I was absolutely, I don't know why, it just struck me. Like, I didn't know, like, you hear about breast cancer, but I didn't know enough.
Right.
And I got out of the car, and I went back to her. I said, can I photograph you? So that was the first person. And then I started photographing some of her friends that were survivors, and then it kind of word got out. Right, that I was doing this as a a project for love. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it.
Right.
Right. Sometimes we start things you don't know.
Yes.
Like I don't know what the end game is here.
Yes.
But I'm just going to start it. And so I started photographing survivors of breast cancer, and I had a show, my very first show, back in 2008.
Wow.
And we called it Drink Pink. And the gal that I did the show with is one of my very best friends, Stephanie Pelletier. She's a doll, and she's an absolute genius. And she was running a place called the Lounsbury House at that time. And so I had the venue, I had the posters printed.
Right.
We had media there. It was a huge success in one night, and there was no raffles. There was no nothing.
Right.
There weren't any silent auction items, and we still made about $10,000 or $15,000 in one night just from people viewing the pictures.
Right.
So from that, it just every year it started to become an annual thing.
Right.
And then
And
it
here-
comes to you
Yeah.
with was that 2 years ago? Because everything before COVID, and then there's COVID, and there's like a blackout.
Yes.
So it was
you
2
know,
years
it's like
ago.
2 or 3 years. Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago.
Was it?
Could it have been 2.5 years ago?
2.5
It was about
years
2.5
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. It was the summer. It was probably about, I think, July or August.
Yeah.
And and I called you because I was hoping to I wanted to get copies of the first set of pictures. And when we spoke, and I was hoping to get another photo shoot. And when we spoke, you told me about Drink Pink.
Yeah.
And you asked me to be one of your Courageous Face models, and I could not say no.
No.
I was
and
so honored.
It's like, this picture is, I mean, that is it. That was the poster
Yes,
that
this
we
is it.
had
Yes.
at
Gorgeous.
the event. And then we switched from Susan G.
Well, this
Komen.
is the one
Yeah.
you wanted.
That's the one I love.
This is the
Well,
one.
because that's you.
Yes, it's so me.
That's you laughing, saying
Yes.
it is what it is.
Yes, exactly. Or it is what it f***ing is.
That's right. That's right. That's right. No, but it's just one thing led to another. So I'd say to date, we've been able to raise probably a little over $400,000. It's just been
400. Say that again.
$400,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for breast cancer research.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I know the one that I was in. It was the last one that you hosted before the pandemic and
Right.
everything. And that raised, I remember over $56,000.
Yes.
I don't remember the exact
Just one
number.
night, yes.
Unbelievable. But one night, it's not just one, it's one night, the event.
Right.
The work you put into this.
Yeah.
You must have been working all year for every project, because you photographed how many new faces every
12.
12 new faces. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I was the last one you photographed.
I think
Yeah.
you were too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was quite a night.
Yeah, and quite an
Yeah.
honor. It was a beautiful.
Yeah.
and we're
I'll
gonna-
probably do it again. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
I'll probably
I'll help
do it
you this
again.
time.
Yeah, I need help. I need
I'll help
helpers.
you.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I would be so honored to. So I wanted to actually show this. Can you pick that up?
Yeah. This is what. Well, this
Yes.
is.
Tell us.
This is what you wore, Cindy.
Yes.
To this like incredibly sexy bustier.
Yes.
And it was like you put this on, and she reminded me of Wonder Woman. She's like, you are a powerhouse. You are a powerhouse, and you are a rock. And what you've been through and how you survive this and how you come out smelling like a rose is unbelievable. Because it's a very powerful picture. And anyway, it was one of my favorite outfits.
Well, I remember I went crazy shopping. I packed, you said, bring everything. Bring it all. So, you have to see in her studio. You know, you have everything you need. I mean, everything is there. There's hangers and there's clothing racks and places to put your shoes and your makeup and so I spread out. I couldn't believe I brought suitcases full of clothes. And you told me to, and that's what everybody does. You expect everybody to do that so you can pick. And I remember I was hoping and praying you would like that piece right there, because that to me is pretty powerful also. I mean, people might look at that and get a different
No, but you're like
perception
a
of it.
survivor, but you're a warrior. And
Yes.
it's like you put on your armor when you put this on.
Exactly. Yes, that's
You know,
exactly it.
that's really,
Yes.
and that's what I saw in you. And that's what you look like, Cindy. That's what
There
it
you
is.
go. It is what it is.
It is what it is, folks.
That's right. And you have to keep laughing and smiling and, getting through things. You can't let anything get you down. And I see so many people. I mean, you are a true inspiration. You inspired so many people, not just the women that you photographed and you helped, but all of the people that were there. I mean, I remember being up, on the stage or on the stairs,
Yes.
kind of like on the stage,
Yeah.
and looking out at the sea of faces, and everybody was smiling. I mean, everybody was so touched and smiling. People were laughing, people were crying, and the pictures were so powerful, so moving. And how many pictures do you think you took with the breast cancer, for breast cancer, of ladies going through breast cancer?
Oh, altogether?
Altogether.
Oh,
How
gosh,
many
I've
do
never
you think?
counted, but I'd say, I don't think it's more than 100, but it's
Well, it was a beautiful.
up there.
And it was in the Lounsbury house.
Yes.
The year I was in it.
Yeah.
And there were photos everywhere. I mean, every room was utilized, and there were photos and pink drinks, and of course, drink pink.
Yes. Yes, we were drinking pink.
Yes. Well, I want to show you.
And I can see you like pink.
I love pink.
Yes.
I love pink. And you know why I love pink?
Why?
I never loved pink before until I had breast cancer. And ever since, and in fact, I would never, because I didn't want to jinx myself, I would never buy anything that was pink or that had which is terrible because I support good causes, but anything that supported breast cancer causes, because I didn't want to get breast cancer. It was a crazy mentality.
You thought of that.
I did.
That's
for
interesting.
years. Yes, for years.
Wow.
I wouldn't buy anything pink or anything with the pink ribbon. I would donate money, but I wouldn't buy anything. I didn't want to hold it in my hand. I would actually look away. I would ward off. I go, ward it off, all the bad evil, and go figure, I got it. And now I love pink. Everything I own is pink. So I want to show you. I brought
Be careful
along.
what you. Be careful what you're afraid of, right?
Well, that's it. Exactly. So I want to show you. This was I felt like Cinderella. So here you have one look.
Right.
You have the bustier here. Right? Leather. And here you have this little princess dress that I wore. I wore this beautiful dress to drink pink. And I felt like a princess that night. I was all blinged out. You were blinged out too.
Yeah, everybody was.
We matched, actually. We had a lot of bling and pink going on together. And I have to tell you, this dress for me is it has so many beautiful memories. I can't wait to wear it again. But I wanted to show.
We'll have to have another occasion soon.
Yes, definitely. Another drink pink.
Yes.
Another drink pink.
Yes.
But it was quite a magical night. Well, we're going to come right back after this commercial. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007.
welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Saville and Kristen Judson. So Kristen, I want to learn a little bit more about your business. And first of all, my logo is spot on, perfect, exactly what I envisioned and couldn't envision. I mean, I described to you what I was looking for, and you have a knack of just understanding and coming through, and it's incredible. I mean, again, the pictures, the logo, the banner, everything that you've done a lot of work for me. Everything you've done is just amazing. I mean, people are totally amazed. So tell me a little bit about how you got, everything you do besides the photography and the videography, and tell me a little bit more, the brand strategy.
Yeah, so like I said, it started with some video work. The first was when I was ending my modeling career. As I was coming off that career, I went for 3 years and videotaped every single job I was on. Oh, wow. So every single modeling booking I was on, I'm here, I'm the model.
Yeah.
Everybody out here is staring at me. I'm taking video of them.
Oh, wow.
I had them sign releases, and after acquiring 75 hours of footage, I then went in and worked with an editor and edited it down to a 60-minute documentary / how-to break into the modeling business. So that gave me a lot of encouragement.
I've never seen that.
I think
see
Amazon
that.
still has it.
I need to see it.
It was when VHS was still.
Okay.
I'll send it to you
Okay.
tonight.
Yes.
I'll send it to you.
I need to watch that.
But it gave me so much encouragement, and it helped my self-esteem of realizing I'm not just a model. I can do more. I have more to offer. I have more to give. Yeah. And with acting, yes, acting was fun, but I'm saying someone else's lines all day.
Yes.
And a soap opera, yeah, it was fun. But it's not like Tootsie. There's no cue cards.
Yeah.
You have to know your lines.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't for me. It just didn't seem like the right thing. So I really found my true calling, working in production, being a producer, being a photographer.
Yeah.
I really try to, and I know I'm talking your ear off right now, but what I try to do is really listen to and get to know my clients before I shoot. Before a production, spend time with them, listen to them, get to know them. I secretly have to fall in love with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
anybody
understand.
can pick up a camera.
Yeah.
But I always say it's the Indian,
Yes.
It's the Indian, not the arrow. It's the person, it's a point of view. So basically it's just my point of view of how I see things. And I see probably the best in things, which has been a blessing in my life, that I do see the best. Sometimes I don't see, sometimes I get myself into trouble because I think everybody's perfect and good.
Right.
But that's like a whole nother segment. But honestly, I think that's just a gift that God gave me, that I have a gift of finding the best and finding the light in people.
Right.
And you pack that with being photographed and being on sets my whole life. Right. I know the angles. I know how to direct and how to guide people, and hopefully, and you say it, and other people do, is that I hope I make them feel comfortable.
You do, and beautiful, Everybody's beautiful, but not everybody feels beautiful all the time. But you make everybody.
But it's such
feel
an
beautiful.
inside job.
Yeah,
it's such an inside job, beauty. I've had people come to my studio, or I've been photographing people or about to film them, and they appear to be like ordinary people, not extraordinary, right?
Yeah.
Like when you look at a picture, sometimes you're like, wow, that's an extraordinary person, and all of a sudden I look at, through the lens, and I look at them, and they become extraordinary. Yeah. It's just it's how it is.
It's magic.
So it is magic, and it's how a person feels inside.
Yeah.
It really is.
But you bring that out. You have a great way of bringing that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
and
you.
the branding.
Yeah, so the branding, well, that's evolved over the last 10 years more, where I help people do their social media strategy. I can create logos, do websites, and I've gone back to the video. So now it's
Yeah.
like 50% video, 50% still images and photography. And I offer packages that are video print packages where I do both in one day. So you get a lot of
Wow.
bang for the buck.
Wow.
You know, it's a lot of work.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of juggling and organizing, but it's fun. It's very creative.
Now you obviously do things in your studio, but you'll go off site. You'll go
Yeah, only
any
I would say
location.
45% is at studio.
Okay.
And the rest is on location. So the majority
Okay.
is location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any favorite spots that you bring people for either video or photos?
It just depends on where I mean, I've been to Florida on shoots. I've been to Long Island.
Oh, there you go. Strong Island.
Yes, Northport, Long Island, very beautiful place. So it just depends.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the places, it's the people that make the picture.
Yeah.
I say I'm only the person that's just snapping it, right?
Exactly.
So it's like 99% you guys.
Right.
It's you. I'm just making it come alive.
You do.
That's it.
You do.
Yeah.
It must be amazing to see once you are done with a photo shoot or whatever you're doing, the video, whatever, to actually have that finished product in your hand. It just has to be so rewarding.
It is, because when I'm meeting with somebody and I'm talking about it, and there's a lot of pre-production, even for a photo shoot.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about it and we
Yeah.
think it through. That's where the creative fees come in. That's the mind thinking
Right.
and coming up with it, a concept. And so I see everything done. It's done before we even go to set to shoot.
Wow.
Yeah. So and things change.
Right.
I mean, you got to be
Absolutely.
organic and kind of roll with
Absolutely.
it. But it is fun to have a concept and an idea and actually see it completed.
Well, I know when I brought my daughter, Julia, to you,
Yes.
the photo shoot was so much fun. I don't know who had more fun, you, Julia, Ashley, who did her makeup, or
Yeah.
me. Because I was behind you taking photos of Julia.
It was a lot of photo going on.
It was a lot of photo.
Yeah.
It was a photo fest.
Yes, it was a photo fest. For sure.
Yes. But I love that you took the time, like you did with me, you took the time to meet with Julia. You had a little welcome sign. You made her feel she noticed it. She took a picture of it. It says, "Welcome to Julia." And she felt so, 19 years old, felt so welcome and so comfortable with you. And she was a little nervous before we got there. But you sat down, you took the time, you sat down with her, you got to know her, and you told me this. You said, I need to spend some time with Julie. I need to get to know her so that, I understand what she's all about. And I realize now that translated into the amazing quality of the photos that you took. Just incredible.
Well, I had an amazing subject.
Well, that's true.
She's gorgeous.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you there.
Yeah. You're a proud mama.
I'm a very proud mama. Both my kids and your son, we have gorgeous kids.
Yeah,
We're
we
very
do.
lucky. Good kids, too.
Yes. Yeah,
Good
they
kids.
are good.
Well, tell us how people can find you if they would like a gorgeous logo or beautiful photos or a video or whatever, everything that you do. Tell us how we can find you.
The best place is probably my website, which is KristenJensen.com, spelt with a K.
And Kristen with an E.
Yeah, Kristen with an E-N.
Yeah.
And I'm on all the social networks, so Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse. That's a new one.
That is a new one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
not
what
on
to do with it
TikTok.
yet.
I'm actually on TikTok because my son was on TikTok, but I haven't done anything on TikTok.
I've learned a lot on TikTok,
Yeah.
I have to tell you.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
It is
It's kind of
fun.
fun. Yeah.
It is
so
fun.
I'm out there.
Awesome, awesome. So if anybody needs your services, please call Kristen. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate having you on, and thank you for all that you do for so many people. You are just a true inspiration, and I'm thrilled that you were here to share that with everybody.
Thank you.
So thank you. Well, final thoughts. Every week, and it is what it is, I will have final thoughts. And this week, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote that is in my book, It Is What It Is. And this has to do with Drink Pink. And this is something that Kristen and I were sharing. I'm going to start reading. The worst day of my life began when I was diagnosed with cancer. Are you sure? Can't be. That happens to others. I've got 2 kids, 4 dogs, a mortgage to pay, a single mom, alone. For survival, I pray. 12 days of chaos, from diagnosis to losing my breasts. Tears and fears consumed me. I was so depressed. I loved my breasts, but they had to go. Who knew my life as I knew it would take such a blow? I met a beautiful photographer named Kristen. You see why I'm reading this. A woman full of kindness, sincerity, and compassion. She offered to capture my breasts on film before I lost them, a gift for a stranger, a generosity I've not seen often. She captured the moment with perfection and grace, sadness but strength written all over my face. The experience, the photos, her kindness, her love, started me on my journey, one I never dreamed of. Losing my breast was hard enough, but losing my business, close family, life was so rough. Desperate for help, couldn't ask, I was too proud. Lost and confused, I get through this, I vowed. My journey lasted 4 years, my worst years ever. So much loss, sadness, my life changed forever. The wicked paths I was forced to take scarred me inside and out, but I did not break. 4 years later, and I'm here and alive. F you, cancer, I effing survived. I'm breathing, I'm laughing, my life is intact. This girl, as you know it, watch out, she's back. Kristen asked me to be one of her courageous faces. And Drink Pink, her breast cancer fundraiser for Ann's Place. What an honor to be asked, such a beautiful ending. To this journey I've traveled, or is it my new beginning? Generously treated to a day of beauty at Adam Broderick's salon, followed by a fabulous photo shoot by Kristen Jensen. The second photo shoot 4 years later captured my truth, survival, strength. Kristen knew all I went through. Leather top, tattoos exposed, fierce look in my eyes. She encouraged the warrior from deep inside. I fought this and won, I'm thrilled to share. She nailed my thoughts through my stance and my glare. Dressed like Cinderella attending a ball, pink dress, bling purse, shimmery shoes, hair, makeup, and all. What an amazing way to end the journey of hell. Or is it my new beginning? The story to tell. Looking out at the sea of faces, some with tears, but most with smiles. Feeling overwhelmed with thoughts of love and survival. Tears slipped from my eyes, emotions I couldn't control. I made it, I beat it, I feel finally whole. That evening was a fairy tale, an experience so surreal. I woke the next morning. Was it a dream or was it real? This magical moment completes the book I'm publishing. Inner strength, feet planted firmly, no more life stumbling. So this is in my book, and that was my last chapter, Drink Pink. So Kristen Jensen means the world to me. She is a true inspiration to me and so many. I want to remind everybody to please like, share, comment. We are going to do the raffle, and Sunday I will pick the winner. So remember, like, share, comment, and thank you for joining us. I will see you next week.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open yourself so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go.